tonight producer, Marianne Fox. Next week we go back to the normal business of life, of dealing with wars and peace and terror and the economy and campaigns and all the rest. But this week was something special and different, and it was an honor to share it with you each night. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Good night for all of us.
Tonight exclusive, former President George Herbert Walker Bush and Barbara Bush. The only interview together on the death of President Ronald Reagan, whose body now lies in state in the nation's capital. President George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush, exclusive next on Larry King Live. Good evening. It's a great honor for us to be at the Houstonian Hotel in Houston, Texas, to talk with the 41st President of the United States and his wife, the former First Lady, George Herbert Walker Bush and Barbara Bush. We have been with them on many occasions. This is one of the sadder ones, the death of Ronald Reagan. How did you learn of it, President Bush?
Well, I just heard of it somebody came rushing in and said they'd heard on the news, so there was no inside information. And of course, made a profound impact on both Barbara and me because we love the man.
Remember your first thought, Barbara? Was it shock? Or at 93, maybe not?
No, not 93, but 10 long years for Nancy, I think. I thought this will be very lonely for her afterwards. On the other hand, what a terrible 10-year period she'd had. So I think she'll be happy knowing he's in heaven, and I think that's what I really thought. I had a brother-in-law who had Alzheimer's.
Oh, you did?
And I know that my sister at first missed caring for him. On the other hand, it was such a burden on them.
In a sense, kind of a blessing, Mr. President?
Oh, definitely. The battle's over, the victory won. I mean, he fought this thing and without a lot of cognizance, but I think everybody said, look, it's been a long, long time. It's been a terrible burden on loyal, wonderful Nancy, but life goes on, and at 93, he's got so much that his life meant so much to so many people that I think it's now a celebration rather than a sadness.
And the two of you, of course, all of you are going to be interconnected forever in history. You as vice president. We'll get into a lot of that. One thing I want to talk about right away is this Saturday night, you're going to turn 80.
Yes, sir.
Your 80th birthday party is here in Houston at Minute Maid Park. I'm proud to be the MC of this. You're going to jump out of a parachute. You could jump with a parachute, out of a parachute. The next day, my doctor would not let me go with you. I had planned to go.
I know.
You still think he's a little nuts to do this, right?
No, I think this is what he wants to do. I know he's safer than safe, so I'm not going to worry.
Was there any thought to canceling?
Well, I think there was some thought, and then we said, look, after a week of mourning, a week of great sadness, life goes on. And in this case, we've got 5 world leaders, former world leaders coming here. We got 5,000 people. We've got a lot of planning that went into it. And so I think the final analysis, the committee decided that it should go on. And I think that was the right decision.
And the Points of Light are the charity that benefits from it.
Points of Light, plus the M.D. Anderson Cancer Center, plus the George Bush Library Foundation, which has our school and our museum there.
So it'll be my honor to be master of ceremony.
Well, I'll bet you Ronald Reagan would have loved it. I bet he
would have had a good time.
That's right.
With the talent especially. This is the first presidential funeral in the nation's capital in 31 years. The last was LBJ's back in 1973, and you're going to speak. Have you already prepared your remarks?
I'm working on them. But Larry, I got a problem. Maybe you can help me with it. I get too emotional. I get too emotional if I'm speaking and eulogizing somebody I love. And in this instance, I felt very close to the president.
So be emotional.
Well,
why not let it?
Just
right?
don't want to sob up there and not be able to say anything. So I'll try. I'll rehearse it, and I'm working on it. Mine's very short. The president is giving the main address there. And I was very flattered that Nancy wanted me to come and do this, but I'm going to try my hardest.
Tell what Ronald Reagan told you about that.
Once I asked him after Normandy, I said, Mr. President, how did you get through an emotional speech like that? He said, I wrote it down, and then I'd read it over and over again to myself, and out loud, but to myself. And he said, after a while, I'd get used to the words, and I'd know what they were, but I didn't feel it quite as much in my heart. But he was a master at that. Once in a while, he got emotional. He did a little bit on that point-to-hawk speech, but he was, you know, he was superb communicator. And
What was
quite
it like?
different than me.
What was it like to run against him? When you challenged him in 1980 in that
Well,
back
it was
and
pretty
forth
tough,
primaries?
but it was pretty tough. We had some differences, but we had a lot of things in common. But he blew me away pretty early, although we did carry some pretty good-sized states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, a few others. Iowa's good to me. But it became clear that the country wanted him, that our party wanted him. And it was a marvelous moment when he called me at the hotel there and said he wanted me to be on his ticket, because the common wisdom was that it was going to be Gerald Ford. You
Who
remember
last
that
night told us
speculation?
that they discussed it and it just didn't work.
Yeah. Well, that was
How did
my
he
break.
ask you?
He just called up, picked up the
He
telephone.
was on the phone.
Yeah. And just a few minutes before that, I'd said to our son Jeb, now the governor of Florida, who was saying, Dad, this isn't fair, that you ought to get this. I said, nobody owes us a thing, Jeb. And it looks like it's going to be Gerald Ford. We're going to keep our heads high and go back to our life. And
The phone rang.
phone rang.
That's
It's
right.
amazing. Phone rang.
And what did he simply say?
He said, George, I've been thinking about this, and I'd like you to be my running mate, or something like that. And he said something, well, can you support, I hope you can support the platform, or something like that. I said, no problem. And it was a great experience, perhaps the greatest in a sense in my life, because it gave me real preparation for what followed.
Were you happy that he decided to go for the vice presidency?
Yes, he didn't run for the vice presidency.
No, that he accepted
Yes,
the offer.
but once, you know, other people were running for the vice presidency, and I got thinking, well, I don't mean Jerry Ford either, but
No, there were others that
there
wanted
were
it.
others who wanted it, and their great speech was going to come or something, and I got sort of competitive, I have to confess, and thought, well, George's a much better man.
Surprise.
That's right.
Was he a great president? And the word great can get bandied around easily. Was
I
he a
think
great
so.
president?
I think history will say that, and a lot of it had to do with accomplishments. The Reagan Revolution, you might say, in terms of hammering home the need for lower taxes. People forget that the highest rate, maybe not when he became president, but it was up around 90%. And President Reagan articulated the need to get taxes down, even though Larry had to compromise a time or two on increasing them. But his greatness stemmed from his adherence to principle. You knew where he was on the issue. He was not sticking a finger up in the wind to see which the polls were doing or which way the wind was blowing. And so he was great at that. But the side that I think I probably saw better than most Americans was this personal side.
Tell me about it.
American people understood it, but I saw it up close and personal, because every Thursday I'd have a lunch with him, or sometimes it was Wednesday, most was Thursday, have lunch there, and we'd talk, no agenda, no briefing papers, and what I saw was a certain decency and a certain sense of honor and a great sense of humor. And it was wonderful. Even when things were going tough, he'd tell me a joke, or I would to him. But it was that personal side of him that I hadn't known when I was president, chairman of the Republican Party.
And did he involve you? I mean, were you on top of everything? Some vice presidents have been like, let me know what's going on.
Well, he did, and that was the great thing. I think I was one of a very few handful of people that could just walk into his office. But yeah, I had certain assignments. I loved it when I went abroad for him. People say about, well, they said about me going to the Soviet Union, you die, Bush will fly. Well, the funny thing is I met Gorbachev for the first time and sent President Reagan a cable that I think today would hold up in my observation. But that was a wonderful assignment. There are many others, too, and I've had things domestically.
And I understand President Gorbachev will be Saturday night. In addition, at the funeral, he'll be Saturday night. at the birthday party.
I hope he will. I think so.
We'll take a break and we'll be right back with the Bushes in Houston. This is Larry King Live. Don't go away.
Millions of us are hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or a certain type of heart attack, what doctors call ACS. The cause? For most, it was blood platelets that formed clots, which blocked blood from getting to the heart. Think aspirin and other heart medications alone are enough? Plavix could help make a difference. So ask your doctor about adding Plavix. Taken with aspirin and your current treatment, Plavix goes beyond what you're taking to help raise protection against heart attack or stroke. Plavix and your other medications work in different ways. Plavix taken with aspirin plays its own role in keeping blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots, which helps keep blood flowing.
If you have a medical condition that causes bleeding, such as a stomach ulcer, you shouldn't use Plavix. The risk of bleeding may increase with Plavix and when you take Plavix with certain other medicines, including aspirin. Review your medicines with your doctor to minimize this risk. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur.
Add more protection against heart attack or stroke with Plavix.
This is the closest thing to crazy I have ever been. Feeling 22, acting 17. This is the nearest thing to crazy I have ever known. I was never crazy.
On sale at Borders for $12.99.
Don't you wish you could find a website called warmwonderfulwater.com? Or that you could log on to backwhereyouwereborn.com? Or maybe, hey mom, look what I found.com? And how about weekendjustfor2.com? Well, those websites don't exist, but that's okay. Because all you really need is alamo.com. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo country, and with our best prices always at alamo.com, they're easy to explore. Alamo, the official rental car of the American vacation.
American Morning is informative, it's energetic. We will not waste people's time.
It's all about the story and the news. Some stories people say, well, why do I care? Why do I need to know? And the truth is, you do need to know, and here's why.
Bill Hammer, Soledad O'Brien, where real news makes the difference. American Morning, CNN, Monday, 7 Eastern.
Former First Lady Nancy Reagan, a classic interview encore. Larry King, CNN 9 Eastern.
Month after month, year after year, more Americans watch CNN than any other news channel. Another reason why CNN is the most trusted name in news.
Back at the Houstonian Hotel in Houston, Texas, with the 41st President of the United States, the only living president now with an airport named after him. We had 2 living presidents with airports named after him, Reagan National, now there's just Bush International here in Houston. What's that like, by the way, have an airport named after you?
Great honor. It's a wonderful honor.
I mean, when you fly in there.
Well, I feel when I hear him say, flying into Bush, fasten your seatbelt, you know, you get a personal charge out of all of that.
Sad thing was President Reagan, I guess, never got to fly into Reagan National.
I think you're
but
right.
But he knew it, didn't he? I'm sure he knew it.
I don't
But
remember.
you had a relative with Alzheimer's. How
Yeah,
difficult
my
was it?
brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Well, for my sister, it was terrible. But he was lucky, and I say this in, well, he was lucky. He died in 5 years. That's lucky. The first 3 or 4, 2 years were very, very difficult, though, because he knew there was something, as I'm sure the president did. That's very difficult. But I think now that my sister was lucky.
How difficult was it for you on those occasions when there had to be occasions when you didn't agree with President Reagan?
Well, it wasn't very difficult because I vowed that when I was accepted for this job and then elected with him, that I would not deviate publicly from what he said. So it wasn't difficult because when I had a nuance of difference, I could talk to him like you and I are talking now, but without any cameras, and tell him what I thought. He never got angry, or he never, said, wait just a minute, you're on the wrong track here. And I always felt he welcomed suggestions that might deviate a little bit.
Or he wanted to hear?
Well, I think so.
Some presidents, they say, don't want to hear it.
Well, I think he did, and there weren't that many occasions. But at times there were some related to personnel in his administration that I might have a different view on how they were treating him.
In fact, there's a story in today's New York Times, I don't know if you saw it, that you had this desire to see Donald Reagan go.
Me?
Yeah.
No, that was not I.
And then it says you and Nancy had a disagreement over
We
how
never
to tell the
discussed that.
president. No, well, it's in the New York Times today.
Yeah.
Well, what you read in the New York Times is not always true.
You and Nancy get along?
Yes.
Because
And
the
we
story
never-
implied that you did.
We would never have discussed something like that. Maybe George would have with the president, but I never discussed that.
They had the two of you discussing it.
And what they had in there was totally inaccurate.
Did you see it?
In fact, yeah, I did. But I don't like to dwell on that kind of stuff.
Oh, really? It wasn't about you and Nancy and me. And we never discussed that. And I think it would be offensive to Nancy and to me.
Where does a story like that come from, then? The only people who can know about it are the four of you.
I remember distinctly President Reagan asking me if I'd talked to Don Regan about leaving, and I did. And so I remember intervening, but at his request. I wouldn't have done that without that.
He told me in an interview we did in 1991, and which we're going to replay Sunday night, that the hardest part to him was to fire someone.
Oh, he hated it. That's why I said when there might be nuances of difference, and they might be about personnel or something like that. But I would never go public with that. I mean, he was the president. I was the vice president. And I owed him my loyalty as well as my judgment.
Was that hard, though?
No.
No?
I have no personal agenda. It came later when I was running for president and when I was president. But no, it wasn't hard.
Did you like being Mrs. Vice President?
Loved it. You could say anything you wanted and nobody cared. You became the wife of the president, you couldn't say anything. Everybody cared.
And you wanted to say things, right?
I did, I'm afraid.
Let's talk about his faith. Was he a strong believer?
If you let me use a note on faith, I didn't know whether we were going to discuss it or not, but in his letter to the American people about this Alzheimer's, there was a couple of really nice references that I thought were pretty good. I'm now about to begin the journey into the sunset of my life. For America, I know there will always be a bright dawn ahead. Another, when God calls me home, whenever that may be, I will leave with the greatest love for this country of ours. And then I just sketched out one more. He believed that it came from somewhere, enjoyed the highest. He quoted Jefferson often. And here's the quote: "The God who gave us liberty, God who gave us life, gave us liberty as well." And then he spoke of the great beyond. So he had a strong faith. He wasn't always beating his chest about it, but he had a strong conviction that there was a hereafter. I think there was one reference in here where he talked about the difference between communists, a Marxist state, and a lot of the rest of the world, where they believed in God and believed in hereafter.
And you share that belief?
Oh, yeah.
We asked the Fords about this last night, not to be maudlin, but do you know where your resting place will be?
You bet, and I'd be glad to show it to you.
Where is it?
It's at College Station. It's the
At
prettiest
the
place you
library?
ever saw.
Yeah, our daughter's already buried there. The one that died.
How old was she?
Almost 4.
She was 50-some years ago.
Yeah.
And
And you'll
she's
be,
there, a little stone.
you'll be buried together there?
Yeah.
Right? At the, Is that it's kind of
It's not.
morbid or comforting?
It's very comforting to us. The only
Eddie
thing
Ford said it's comforting.
It is comforting.
I went by there and these guys were working like mad. I said, "Hey, slow down, you fellas." I mean, you know, but it's beautiful.
We'll be right back with the Bushes in Houston, Texas. Don't go away.
Okay, people, why are these numbers off?
Well, Tim, it's been an off week.
An off quarter.
We got off to a bad start.
The budgets were off. Way off.
Forecasts were off.
Off target. Way off.
Production was off.
Way off. Well, Patterson's research was off.
Where is Patterson?
He took the week off.
Look, can someone just tell me how we can turn off?
How about an off-site?
That's awful.
Need some new thinking? IBM Business Consultants can help.
The great ones elevate their performance. On the biggest stages, with the highest stakes, they're able to summon something extra, and by sheer will, produce wonders. As a global energy leader, expect big things from ConocoPhillips, and watch our performance elevate.
CNN Tomorrow, Nancy Reagan. Classic interviews with the former First Lady as America mourns President Ronald Reagan. Spend an hour with the woman behind the man, Nancy Reagan. A Larry King Live encore presentation. CNN Tomorrow, 9 Eastern.
CNN Sunday, a special television event. Meet the men who changed history on D-Day. Paulazon hosts D-Day, a call to courage. CNN Sunday, 7 Eastern.
Buy this 6-piece oak finish bedroom set, only $298.
And this 5-drawer chest is free, and here's what you get.
Dresser and mirror.
Headboard, nightstand, and lamp.
And the chest is free.
Now that's Tom Peterson.
And glorious too.
This month, we've got the toughest guys and the baddest girls, available anytime, on demand.
This is what we're after.
Nice. My kind of job.
I swear, 3 days ago, neither one of us would have ever pulled a stunt like this.
This is about money.
It's not about the money. We like the chase.
My name's Chili Palmer. I got an idea for a movie.
These action-packed movies and more are available this month on demand. To order, go to your on-screen guide, select movies, then select tough guys and girls. Pick a movie, play it whenever.
Buy this microfiber sofa and love in a beautiful peach suede fabric. Only $6.99.
15 months, same as cash, no interest. Now that's Tom Peterson.
And glorious too.
CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Back at the Houstonian Hotel in Houston, Texas, with the 41st President of the United States and his wife, the former First Lady, George and Barbara Bush. They will be at the funeral ceremony on Friday morning. We'll be anchoring the ceremony, the burial ceremony, on Friday afternoon at 9 o'clock, regular Larry King Live time. Where were you when President Reagan was shot?
I was in Texas, in Fort Worth. And we heard that he was shot. The Secret Service rushed me back out to the airplane, Air Force 2, and as soon as we could, we headed back to Washington. But it was a real shock. But you know something, Larry? I said it at the time. I'll repeat it here. I didn't think about the loneliest burden in the world, the job of the presidency falling on my shoulders. We didn't know enough about what was happening. I thought that a friend had been shot. I thought it would be just a personal thing like that. And then, of course, as time went on and you had all the debate, who was running the country and landing where and there, it changed a little bit. But that was my first reaction. And that's what I'm trying to say about Ronald Reagan. You just felt a sense of friendship and closeness to the guy. We did. Barbara and I did.
Where were you?
I was actually just coming back from a luncheon with Nancy Reagan. We'd gone to Phillips Gallery, I think, at a luncheon, and then it was pretty scary. Ed Meese came out to the Vice President's house to tell me, which was very thoughtful.
Did it all enter your mind that you might be First Lady?
No, because Ed said George was coming back. Not at all. That sounds terribly stupid, but it didn't. I just wanted to be sure George was safe and back and that the president was fine.
Didn't you have to think about it on that plane flight?
A little bit back. I wrote some notes that are up there in my library, and I can't remember exactly what they were, but it didn't dwell on it because we really didn't know how serious. We get reports flying back, but none of them sounded like he was going to pass away, thank God. And there was no consideration given to transferring, that I know of, to transferring the powers of the president to the vice president. If that had happened, I would have, felt more, well, what do I do now kind of thing. But it didn't, and I never tried to act like I was president. I sat in a regular chair, landed the helicopter up at the vice president's instead of the South Lawn, and just went about my business, my job.
How soon after did you see him?
I don't remember. I don't know that I saw him in the hospital. I don't think so.
I think you did.
I may have.
I think
they weren't encouraging visitors. I don't think Nancy wanted a big flow.
I think you went by the hospital and saw her and saw him.
He had
Not that day,
optimism
but later.
after that too, right?
Oh,
he was even funny.
Oh yeah, saying about the doctors. I wish hope you're all Republicans. And
I forgot to duck, honey.
Things like that. And then one other wonderful incident where they found him on his hands and knees wiping up some water because he didn't want the nurse to get disciplined for spilling. I mean,
that was him, right?
That's
wonderful. Classic example of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
He was innately polite.
Larry, he'd no more walk by the guy running the elevator in the White House, or the fella doing the ground, or Irv out there and the groundskeepers and all that, without saying, how's your family? How's it going? What's happening? I mean, he just had that way of, I call it kindness or decency.
Did you ever think about assassination?
Maybe, but not, I guess I thought about it after I left the presidency and Saddam Hussein tried to knock us off, Barbara, me, and a whole bunch of others. But
didn't think about it while you were president?
No, they'd brief us if there were any serious threats, and there are always threats on the president. But oddly enough, I think more about it now than...
Yeah, do you think about it for your son?
Oh. No. I think the Secret Service... Well, I'm much more optimistic. I think the Secret Service are fabulous, and I think they'll take good care of him.
You do think about it?
Well, just once in a while, just because these Al-Qaeda people are nuts, and they'll do anything. But I agree with Barbara about the Secret Service. We have total confidence in it. And the intelligence is good. We get some excellent intelligence that they work on.
I think it was a blessing that President Reagan, arguably, I guess, didn't know about 9/11.
Yes, I think it's anybody who didn't know about it was lucky.
In a way, that's a good point, Larry, because it changed the dynamic for our whole country. We thought we were immune, protected by the Pacific, protected by the Atlantic, and suddenly this terror comes right home to our country.
By the way, where were you?
I was, we spent the night in the White House that Sunday night. I think it was a Monday, wasn't it? And
was it Tuesday?
We'd been at a cancer meeting on Monday, I think, and then
we were flying out when we heard about it. We were going to Minnesota, and they grounded us in Milwaukee. A few hours later, the president called and said, "Where are you, Dad?" I said, "Well, you made us land out here in some little town outside of Milwaukee." So but it changed everything, and the country will be all right, though. The country will be all right. Reagan's optimism will prevail for the country even now.
We'll be right back with George and Barbara Bush, former president, former first lady. Don't go away.
A while back, I started to notice something about my hearing.
I couldn't always hear everything.
Certain words.
I kept turning up the TV.
I wanted to hear better, but I wasn't ready to wear a hearing aid. Then I found this incredible new device called Songbird, the world's #1 disposable hearing aid.
It's this tiny little device.
That's clear, so it matches any skin tone, and it's virtually invisible.
You wear it when you need it, like sunglasses, to hear better in the situations where you really need to. Songbird contains the same digital technology as hearing aids that cost thousands, but you can get a Songbird for less than $100. And each Songbird lasts up to 3 months or about 400 hours. And when it runs out, you simply get a new one.
I bought Songbird for my husband so we can watch TV at a comfortable volume.
There's no exam, no batteries to replace, and no costly repairs. It's so easy to try.
If you have mild to moderate hearing loss, the simplest way to improve your hearing is just a phone call away. While other hearing aids cost thousands, the Songbird 400-hour digital hearing aid can be yours through this special introductory offer for only $59. Songbird is not available in stores, and best of all, your complete satisfaction is guaranteed, so you have nothing to lose.
No matter how you look at it, Songbird couldn't be any easier.
You use them when you need them, and you just pay for that, and that's it.
Sounds that you need to hear, your children, things like that you're never going to hear again. Don't let that opportunity pass you by.
What you get from Songbird is as good as it gets, and it doesn't get any better.
Hear what you've been missing for a fraction of the cost of a traditional hearing aid. And for a limited time, you'll get this free protective case and a virtual audiologist video full of helpful information about your Songbird.
Call 1-800-419-0707 or order online at songbirdstore.com. Songbird, the simplest way to improve your hearing. Satisfaction guaranteed. Order now.
If you could do it all over again, would you? I've decided not to have bridesmaids. In a New York Minute.
Sex and the City premieres Tuesday at 10, only on TBS.
Support with your grace the Reagan family, and especially Mrs. Nancy Reagan, who stood by him in memorable moments of history and never left him in the long moments of difficult performance when the wheel turned all so slowly.
We're back with the Bushes. What about Nancy during this period, Barbara, of the 10 years of a husband with Alzheimer's?
Well, you just can't imagine unless you've been there, I guess. But
The long goodbye. That's what it's called.
Very long goodbye. And they were so close that it must have just broken her heart, because they literally were like one.
That was a genuine love affair.
Definitely. And you could sense it, and he'd talk about it quietly and privately as well as publicly. Remember up in Reykjavik, he said, told the troops, I got to go home, Nancy's making dinner or something like that. Well, that's, that was hyperbole, but it's what he was about. And it was a genuine love affair, and she set a huge example for the whole country in the way she has conducted herself over this long period of trouble.
I don't want to take you into politics, it's not the point, but Nancy's come out for stem cell research. I know your son has in certain areas come out not for that area. Have you got thoughts on it?
Well, he's come out for some of it. He just wants to restrict the amount of federal funding that goes into certain lines or something like that. I don't really know much about it, but there may be a difference there, but not with me. But I can see her anxiety about getting the federal government to do more.
Did you like her?
Yes, I admired her enormously. She, we're as different as night and day. I've forgotten. Once I had a good description. I've forgotten it now, but something like she wears a size, 2, and my leg is a size 2 or something. But we had just such different interests. I mean, I liked sports, and we just did different things. But that did not take from my liking her very, very much. I have a lot of friends who or as beautiful as Nancy, which is hard to be, and don't do any athletics, and we're still very close friends.
Were you friends with Ronald Reagan?
I hope so. I like to think so. Maybe it's a little presumptuous for me to say so, but yes, in terms of my view of my friendships, I was. And I've been going through diaries, and there's so many intimate moments and so many wonderful...
You keep a diary?
Not anymore. I did, but I did it too sketchily when I was vice president and president. But the ones that interacted with the president was when I was vice president. And there are a lot of times when he was just so kind and wonderful that I think I was a friend, yeah.
That's nice. In other words, that you could level with him on personal feelings.
Definitely that. And I knew that he would not be, you know, unless it was kind of agreed, be out telling, here's what George thinks, and he's wrong. I mean, behind my back doing something or saying something like that. The minute I was on that ticket, the minute we were elected, he was totally friendly, or in my corner, you might say. You remember the Carter debate, when he was debating Carter? And Carter said, well, your own vice president candidate down here called your economics voodoo economics. Reagan looked over at me and goes, like this, you know. And then he gave him a great answer. And it just put me at ease so much.
Instinct, right? His instincts worked well for him.
But its instinct was timing and communication, but it's an underlying decency, honor, kindness, humility, all of these things about which I learned so much from him.
Did you visit him all when he was ill?
Yeah. Well, no, not when he was ill. We visited him after I left the presidency, and I guess it might have been in the early stages of the illness.
Did you sense some of the early stages? Gerald Ford told us he did.
Yes, we did. When I didn't when he was president.
No,
I was at his side. Some people said then. And I never detected a trace of it then. But yeah, the time we saw him, or maybe it was twice, I think I saw him twice, one of them it was quite clear that there were some disconnects.
Was that hard to take? You're sitting with you're a former leader of the free world, he's a former leader of the free world, and he's not connecting?
Yeah, it was. It was complicated and sad. I saw him after he left office when I was president. And those were very nice occasions. I remember he went out to his library opening, and then we were at the thing for Desert Storm. And so we'd see each other. We gave him the Medal of Freedom.
I was there the day you gave him the Medal of Freedom.
And these were wonderful occasions. But I don't remember, Larry, any disconnects in those years when I was president. Maybe it started.
Did you notice it in your brother-in-law?
Well, I lived in Texas. He lived in Connecticut. And I know they went through a miserable year he was an investment banker, wasn't he? Yes, he was a G.H. Walker. He was not related, but he was. And his wife took away some of his accounts, gently said to people, you better move on. And he didn't like that very much because he knew there was something wrong, but it wasn't easy.
When we come back, President Reagan on the world stage. We're at the Houstonian Hotel in Houston, Texas, with the 41st President of the United States and Barbara. Don't go away.
So, George, I'm in your corner. I'm ready to volunteer. I'm ready to volunteer a little advice now and then and offer a pointer or two on strategy if asked. I'll help keep the facts straight or just stand back and cheer. But George, just one personal request. Go out there and win one for the Gipper.
I was stage 4 and considered terminal. A 1% chance of survival. That pretty much stamps out any hope.
Pack it up, write your will, take your last vacation.
I broke down for about 15 minutes. I just couldn't stop crying because I thought I was in big trouble.
And then I would find a commercial for Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and my life changed.
Everything I had seen on the web about lung cancer was grim. And then I came across the Cancer Treatment Centers of America website, which is full of hope.
You walk through the door and immediately have the feeling, yes, there is something that
can be done, and we're going to do it today.
They took the nutrition area and the naturopathic area and the conventional medicine, and it all worked together for a healing.
You have to take responsibility for your own recovery. You may be scared and weak, but you have to get yourself in a position to get the best treatment that you can. There's always hope that it's possible to survive my kind of cancer. I saw people who did it.
I cannot imagine raising my son without him. And if we had not gone to the cancer treatment centers in America, I really don't think that we would have him here today.
These courageous people found a place for hope. Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Our cancer information specialists are available 24 hours a day. Call now and they'll send you overnight this free life-changing video and cancer fighter information kit. In it, you'll see how state-of-the-art medicine combines with innovative complementary therapies to give you treatment options you may not even know exist in an environment that's supportive and compassionate. Please, call today.
It is never too late. As long as we're breathing, it's not too late to seek another opinion.
They give you a new lease on life. It's worth everything.
CNN Monday, hot new hybrid cars. They're the latest fad, but will they really save us from high gas prices? You'll be surprised. Plus, attacks and the rise in Afghanistan. A look at the forgotten war. Trust American Morning, Monday, 7 Eastern.
Month after month, year after year, more Americans watch CNN than any other news channel. Another reason why CNN is the most trusted name in news.
Back. Barbara just told me a wonderful little anecdote we ought to share on coming back from China.
Well, we carried home a present for him and wrapped it all up for them, Nancy and the president, and wrapped it up. And about 2 days before Christmas, I got a little note. Dear Barbara, I said, I just couldn't stand it when I saw you carried this home from China, and so I opened early. I love it. Thank you very much.
From the president?
The president. He wrote the thank you note. Like all kids, he opened early.
I always try to think of what you can do for a president. I used to go twice. I remember going to Al's Magic Shop, and they was trying to find a couple of clean items I could pick up for the president. And you know, you'd take him there, and he'd laugh, and we'd had a lot of fun with that kind of thing.
How about how well he handled himself on the world stage? There were great fears when he took office with how well would Reagan do with the leaders of other countries.
Larry, there was so much hand-wringing in the kind of conventional foreign policy establishment when he said something like, this is an evil empire. And when he said, tear down the wall, people, oh my God, this is going to cause World War III, you know, and all kinds of consternation. But the way in which he did it, you knew where he stood. It was very powerful, very strong, but it wasn't mean-spirited. And it wasn't trying to, you know, to stick a finger in the other leader's eyes, even though he said, Mr. Gorbachev, take down the wall. I think if you asked Gorbachev about that, he would rationalize and say, wait a minute, we could understand back then his feeling. So it was important. And he took on the foreign policy establishment and emerged, I think, with flying colors.
You know, as you appreciated how well were you a little surprised at how well he handled it? Because he didn't have any international experience,
in
right?
the beginning, yeah, you just didn't know. But I think he ended up doing very, very well, even in Reykjavik, where they had to reverse himself a little bit. But people said, look, he was trying for peace. He was trying to get rid of these nuclear weapons. He was trying to, you know, do something for world peace. And I think that is what came through, even to those people who were wringing their hands in the beginning about the heat of his rhetoric.
How good was the team around him? Colin Powell will be with us tomorrow night. Really? He made Colin Powell his national security.
Oh, yeah, God, he's one of the best. Colin is just, of course, I'm so prejudiced. Well, I'm prejudiced because I just feel, again, a certain sense of friendship with him that's never going to be diminished. I mean, there's crisis here, crisis there, but hey, he's a wonderful person, and he could give you a very good insight into President Reagan. I'm sure he will.
Did Reagan have, generally, President Reagan, a good team?
I think so. I think at times he felt that it might have been stronger, but, you know, I think when he chose Jimmy Baker right at the beginning, who had opposed him, who had been my campaign manager, but he saw in Baker certain strength that I think the country really sees ex post facto. That was broad gauge view. It didn't have to always be there. And the kitchen cabinet kind of guy, he said, this guy will help me, and he did.
How well did he handle criticism, press criticism?
Just rolled off him. I tell you, he did a lot better than I do. He just rolled off his back. And it's just the way he'd do it. I mean, you know, hi, and come on. And he didn't like it. I mean, at times he felt he was really hammered.
Was Iran-Contra the toughest time?
I think it probably was, Larry. And I think the speech he gave where he said, I told you I didn't trade heads, or I still think I didn't, but this is the evidence and it looks like I may have or something. I mean, I don't ever remember it being totally down, but you could just tell it was a burden on him.
How about the loss in Lebanon?
Same thing. I remember I went over there, you mean when the Marine barracks?
Yeah.
I remember I went over there the day after that, kicked through the rubble at Lebanon. He wanted me to do that, and I was glad he did. But I think in that course of a conversation there, you could tell that it was hurting him, but it was I don't think he worried about his own standing. I think what he's worried about is the loss of those young Marines.
Is that the worst part of the presidency? Losing lives in your command?
Yeah. The worst part is sending somebody else's son or daughter into harm's way. I felt that way. I know the president feels that way. And I expect, though President Reagan didn't have to do it as much, felt that way. And I expect Jimmy Carter did.
Does it affect you? As First Lady, did it affect you?
Yes, because it affects your husband and it affects young lives.
It's the toughest. There's no question. It's not even arguable what's tougher than that, because you can't pass the buck, can't form a committee, can't go to get Congress to pass them. You got to say, I'm going to do this. And
There's a movement, Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, a friend of yours, has started a movement to put President Reagan on the $10 bill. Take Alexander Hamilton off and put him on. What do you think?
Well, I think it's probably going to take a little time to get that done, but I think it's, I'd be all for it. I'll vote aye.
Would you be for it?
Yes, I would, but then they're going to go through every president, maybe. I can't wait to see what George is going to be.
Well, I think there's a long wait. In fact, I think President Reagan signed a bill about before you can change
that's why I
it.
said it would take a while.
They can be changed.
Yeah, before it can be changed.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to take a while. Mitch is very able, though. Don't underestimate McConnell.
It's very hard, but there'll be other American heroes who people want to put on bills. I guess I'm less political and more practical than you. I mean, they're going to want to put Martin Luther King. A lot of American heroes.
Well, these are presidents, though. They're not going to...
Well, I know.
Hamilton wasn't president.
Is he on one? Is that the one you're talking
about?
about?
$10 bill.
That a boy. Thank you
Secretary
very
of the Treasury.
much.
So Barbara's right.
For once.
Once again.
Well, I don't know. I think it would be wonderful, but I just suspect that everyone's going to come up with someone else.
When we come back, we'll have our last segment, and we'll talk about the aging process.
Well, who's aging?
The president's going to be 80 on Saturday. He's going to jump out of an airplane on Sunday. We'll be right back.
Sunday, in a special CNN event, 2 dramatic stories, ordinary citizens, extraordinary heroism. First,
it was mostly a fight for survival.
Meet the men who changed history on D-Day in A Call to Courage. Then they faced down Hitler's armies alone.
I think it was a price worth paying for freedom.
CNN presents the untold story, Warsaw Rising. 2 dramatic stories, 2 unforgettable hours, beginning at 7 Eastern, CNN Sunday.
CNN Tomorrow, Nancy Reagan as America mourns President Ronald Reagan. A classic interview encore. CNN Tomorrow, 9 Eastern.
Comcast is
Lifestyles.
Watch designers transform homes on a $0 budget with House Invaders on BBC America. Ride along with Al Roker to find great food and people on the Food Network's Roker on the Road. And tune into HGTV for a fresh eye on home makeover ideas with Curb Appeal.
Whatever you're into.
It's on Comcast.
You can save $100 today.
When you buy this 10-piece queen bed package.
Only $199, and here's what you get.
Queen frame.
Queen box.
Queen mattress.
Queen mattress pad.
2 queen sheets.
2 queen pillows.
2 queen pillowcases. Plus a free headboard.
White.
Black.
Oak.
Brass.
11 pieces, $199.
Plus a free headboard. Buy it today.
We'll deliver it today. That's Tom Peterson.
And Gloria Stew.
We all need to get away from something. Replenish what the rest of the world takes away in Minnesota. Call this toll-free number for your free Explore Minnesota travel guide. When you use your vacation days here, you'll leave all your worries behind. Call this toll-free number for your free Explore Minnesota travel guide today. How many vacation days do you have left? Explore Minnesota.
In telling the story of my father's life, it's impossible to separate fact from the fiction, the man from the myth. The best I can do is to tell it the way he told me.
Bravo Company, go!
Big Fish is Tim Burton's masterpiece.
You are in for a surprise.
Order Big Fish on in-demand pay-per-view. Imaginative and unique. Catch Big Fish at home on Comcast.
Anderson Cooper, 360, CNN, Monday, 7 Eastern.
He was able to clarify and possibly to simplify even some very complex issues. And he presented some very concise, very clear messages that really appeal to the American people.
Even when we had our differences about domestic policy, the one thing I liked about him was that he was not mean-spirited. He was always optimistic about our country, and he believed that freedom was a universal value.
His work is done, and now a shining city awaits him. May God bless Ronald Reagan.
They are an exclusive club, and they are not getting younger. There is now Gerald Ford, Bill Clinton, George Herbert Walker Bush. You think about...
Jimmy Carter.
And Jimmy Carter. Do you think about...
Dying?
Yeah.
A little bit, but not a lot. It doesn't scare me. Used to. When I was a little kid, think about dying, I would scare that. Terrible. But when you get older, Larry, you know, you don't think about it a lot. I got too much to do, too much to live for, too much happiness to
Does
depart
80
from.
seem old?
No, oddly enough, it doesn't. You think I'm probably think I'm exaggerating, but it doesn't. And part of that is I'm blessed with good health, and I still want to do things. I still want to get out and do interesting stuff. They named an aircraft carrier for me. It's going to go to sea. It's christened earlier. It's going to go to sea in 2008. The George H.W. Bush CVN-77. I got to be alive for that. I've got to go out on that ship and relive my own days in the Navy.
Did you christen it?
No, our daughter.
Our daughter's the sponsor. It's her ship.
Isn't that exciting?
Do you think about aging? Do you think about
I think about his aging, praying he'll age someday, but no, I really don't. I think we're all limited slightly by aches and pains, but no, we feel good.
How do you feel about him jumping, really?
Really, I think it's
Really?
great. I mean, the military men he jumps with, or women, are very, very talented. They're not going to let anything happen to
Why
them.
do you do it?
One, it feels good. It's exhilarating. It's like, why do I go 68 miles an hour in my boat? Which I do when I go fishing. I do. And there's a certain thrill in it when you're falling at 125 miles an hour and you're the one in control. It's not a tandem. It's just me. And with a guy there in case I mess up. But there's a thrill in it. And the second thing, Larry, is you asked how, about 80. I think it sends a message around the country, and I think it will around the world in this instance, that just because you're 80, that doesn't mean you can't do fun stuff or interesting things. You can, and I am.
Looking forward to your birthday bash?
Yeah, look, and we're thrilled you're coming, incidentally.
It's an honor to be
Very
the master
pleased.
ceremonies at this. And
It's going to be fun.
gonna be all the kids going to be there, everybody?
Yeah.
Grandchildren?
I think most of them. Yeah. No, the twins are gone. They're overseas. The
Anything
president's
you'd
kids.
want to say to Nancy?
Well, we've talked to her, and she knows that our hearts are with her.
You talked to her soon after?
No, we talked to her just before, but it was there.
Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right before he died?
Yeah. But I guess she knew it because she said, well, you know, she made clear to us that he wasn't going to live. My message would be that what you've done is set an example for how to cope with grief, and an example of standing by the guy that loved you most, your husband. And she did it.
And what's his legacy?
I don't know, Larry.
Decency.
Yeah, all those personal attributes.
Giving hope. He gave huge hope to this country.
Yeah. Morning in America. We're the greatest. We're the best. Without putting anyone else down.
And that wasn't PR, right?
No.
I mean, that was him.
It's in his heart, yeah. It's in his heart. America the free, home of the free, land of the brave. I mean, he loved all that, and he conveyed it to the American people.
It's okay to be emotional on Friday. When do you head to Washington?
We go up there tomorrow afternoon, and then I got to give a little eulogy there. But I'm the one that leads the BAWL, B-A-W-L patrol in our family. And I can do it when I'm happy, and if I'm saying something about someone I love and respect, I'm afraid the tears will flow, but I'm going to try to find something to dry them up.
Is it good to be around former presidents?
Yeah, I like it. I enjoyed seeing President Clinton at the World War II Memorial the other day, and people said, well, what were you talking about? I thought we were just friendly, you know, anecdotes.
Thank you so
Great
much,
respect
Robert.
for him.
Always great seeing you.
Here's my left hand. I got a sprained thumb, and this is the hand that pulls the parachute.
The hand that pulls the parachute is sprained.
Well, just the thumb, but I just want to be sure it doesn't get injured
Trust
by a good
me,
warm handshake from you.
When the moment comes, his thumb will be able to pull the thing.
We'll see you Saturday night.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for joining us, and I'll be back in a minute to tell you about tomorrow.
Is there anything else we can get you, ladies?
No, we're fine.
Variety. Just one more thing to love about Outback, like our juicy Outback Special, Outback Steakhouse.
A while back, I started to notice something about my hearing.
I couldn't always hear everything.
Certain words.
I kept turning up the TV.
I wanted to hear better, but I wasn't ready to wear a hearing aid. Then I found this incredible new device called Songbird, the world's #1 disposable hearing aid.
It's this tiny little device.
That's clear, so it matches any skin tone, and it's virtually invisible.
You wear it when you need it, like sunglasses, to hear better in the situations where you really need to. Songbird contains the same digital technology as hearing aids that cost thousands, but you can get a Songbird for less than $100. And each Songbird lasts up to 3 months or about 400 hours. And when it runs out, you simply get a new one.
I bought Songbird for my husband so we can watch TV at a comfortable volume.
There's no exam, no batteries to replace, and no costly repairs. It's so easy to try.
If you have mild to moderate hearing loss, the simplest way to improve your hearing is just a phone call away. While other hearing aids cost thousands, the Songbird 400-hour digital hearing aid can be yours through this special introductory offer for only $59. Songbird is not available in stores, and best of all, your complete satisfaction is guaranteed, so you have nothing to lose.
No matter how you look at it, Songbird couldn't be any easier.
You use them when you need them, and you just pay for that, and that's it.
Sounds that you need to hear, your children, things like that you're never going to hear again. Don't let that opportunity pass you by.
What you get from Songbird is as good as it gets, and it doesn't get any better.
Hear what you've been missing for a fraction of the cost of a traditional hearing aid. And for a limited time, you'll get this free protective case and a virtual audiologist video full of helpful information about your Songbird.
Call 1-800-419-0707 or order online at songbirdstore.com. Songbird, the simplest way to improve your hearing. Satisfaction guaranteed. Order now.
CNN Sunday, one of the great battles of World War II. Ordinary citizens fought the Nazis against overwhelming odds.
I think it was a price worth paying for freedom.
CNN presents Warsaw Rising, Sunday 8 Eastern.
More Americans watch CNN than any other.